Have you ever met someone who seems to always know exactly what to say, how to act, and when to move, and yet there's something quietly unsettling about them? Something you can't quite put your finger on? These are people with dark intelligence. We often admire charm, wit, and cleverness, but what if the traits we think of as brilliance are sometimes signs of a mind operating on shadows? Most of us struggle in life with subtle manipulations, unspoken tensions, or relationships that feel like a constant puzzle, and yet we rarely stop to consider why some people can navigate these situations effortlessly while we stumble. Maybe it's at work when a colleague always wins the argument without seeming aggressive, or in social circles where someone always gets their way and you leave wondering how you missed it. The hidden psychological reason is not simply skill or luck. It's a deep understanding of human behavior, an ability to read motivations, weaknesses, and desires almost instinctively. People with dark intelligence have learned, consciously or not, how to use perception, patience, and subtlety to influence outcomes without drawing attention to themselves. Often, they are extraordinarily self-aware, noticing not just what others do, but what they don't do, what they hint at, and what they hide. This awareness allows them to anticipate moves before anyone else sees them, giving them an invisible edge. They are patient, not impulsive, observing patterns in people and situations that most of us ignore. They are selective in their emotions, showing just enough vulnerability to appear relatable but never enough to be predictable. They are adaptable, bending themselves to different social climates while remaining internally focused on their own goals. And perhaps most intriguingly, they hold a quiet detachment from outcomes, acting with intention but rarely needing immediate validation, which allows them to operate without distraction or ego-driven error. If we look closer, 4 subtle forces shape this type of intelligence. First, they cultivate acute observation, noticing small cues like body language, tone shifts, or hesitation, tiny fragments of information that often go unnoticed. Imagine a friend whose casual remark seems innocent, but you realize they knew your secret all along simply because they watched carefully. Second, they have a deep understanding of human desire, knowing that people are motivated not just by logic, but by hidden needs and insecurities. They exploit the gap between what we say we want and what we actually do. Third, they master restraint. Where most of us react impulsively, these individuals pause, reflect, and calculate the long game. They understand that power often comes from patience, not action. And fourth, they create psychological leverage, intentionally or not, shaping situations by planting subtle suggestions, timing disclosures, and nudging others toward decisions that serve their interest, all while remaining invisible. Midway, consider a perspective shift. Perhaps what feels threatening about dark intelligence isn't their cleverness, it's our own lack of awareness, our assumption that life should be transparent and fair. These people reflect a mirror, showing us how much of our behavior is unconscious, reactive, and predictable. Recognizing this opens a new understanding. It's not just about outsmarting others. It's about understanding ourselves. And that realization can be liberating. So, what can we do to sharpen our own minds without adopting darkness for darkness's sake? First, practice mindful observation. Notice not just what people say, but what they avoid, the emotions they mask, the patterns that repeat. Second, embrace reflective patience. Pause before reacting to impulses, giving yourself space to understand context, motivation, and consequence. Third, cultivate emotional clarity, learning to distinguish between instinctive fear or desire and reasoned choice, so that you are not easily swayed or manipulated. Small, deliberate steps like these build insight, not manipulation, turning knowledge of human behavior into personal empowerment. In the end, understanding dark intelligence is not about fear or mimicry. It's a meditation on the depths of the human mind. It reminds us that beneath surface interactions, a complex web of perception, patience, and intention drives behavior, and by noticing it, we gain freedom. Perhaps the most profound truth is that the greatest power we can ever hold is not the ability to control others, but the ability to understand ourselves, and in that understanding, the shadows of intelligence no longer intimidate, but illuminate.